Welcome to the Event Answer Studios. Today I want to show you how to create this organic balloon arch with an integrated balloon number built right into that arch. Now to start off, I'm going to be using 4 different colors of latex balloons, and I'm going to inflate those 2 at a time using my electric balloon inflator. To achieve that organic look, I'm going to inflate these to 2 different sizes, anywhere between 6 and 10 inches in diameter. Then I'm going to tie them into a pair by wrapping the nozzles around twice and tying them together in a simple knot. Once I've tied all of my 11-inch latex balloons into pairs, I'm then going to take 2 of those and overlap them so that the nozzles touch right in the center, and then twist 1 balloon from each of those pairs around each other, locking them into a quad. I'm going to set 4 quads aside for the arch, and then all the rest of my quads I'm going to join together into clusters of 8. So take 2 quads, slide them together so all the nozzles are touching right in the middle, and then take 2 balloons from 1 quad, wrapping them all the way around and twisting them around each other, and that will lock all 8 balloons together into a cluster. For this arch, I created 7 clusters made from all 11-inch balloons, and then made 4 clusters that incorporated 2 16-inch balloons as well as the 6 11-inch balloons. The important thing here is to fully inflate the 16-inch balloon, let a little bit of air out, and then press it down against the surface so that that balloon is nice and round before tying it into a pair, tying it into quads, and then making our clusters of 8. With all our balloon clusters prepared, we need a frame to build our arch on, and I'm using this DIY version I made from PVC and PEX pipe that stands 7 feet tall and 4 feet wide. If you'd like to learn how to make this frame, I'll leave a tutorial linked above, or you can use any metal frame you like. Now at the base, we're going to grab our first cluster of 8 that has 2 16-inch balloons in it, and secure it to the left side of our frame by taking 2 balloons from that cluster and wrapping them all the way around the pole so that the pole is touching the nozzles of that cluster, and then take the 2 balloons with the pole in between them and twist them around each other, and this will lock the cluster to the pole, and we don't have to worry about it popping off the frame later on. Then I'm going to rotate this around so that my 2 60-inch balloons are on the left and the right side of this pole, so it makes the base look nice and wide. Once I'm happy with the color placement, I'm going to hop over to the right side of the frame and add a 60-inch cluster on this side as well. Once I'm happy with the color placement, making sure there aren't too many of one color right next to each other, I'm then going to grab one of those quads we set aside at the very beginning of this project, slip it around the pole and secure it in place. Then gently press down on it so it's nice and snug against the cluster, and this will give us a level place for our balloon number in just a moment. For now, I'm going to move back over to the left side of the frame and continue adding clusters. So I have 3 16-inch clusters on the base of my frame, giving it a wide, lush look, and then on top of that, I'm going to add 3 clusters that are all 11-inch balloons. By using these smaller balloons near the top, it'll give our arch a beautiful, defined shape. Now it's time to add the focal point of this design, which is the balloon number. You can use any number you like, but the most important thing is that your balloon number is standing nice and straight on the frame. So hold the balloon in place, and then on the back side, I'm going to put 2 pieces of clear packaging tape on the left and the right side of the pole to reinforce the mylar balloon before I tape it in place. Mylar can rip really easily if I accidentally bump into this number or want to adjust it, so these extra pieces of tape will reinforce that balloon. Once I'm happy with its placement, I'm then going to take a 3rd piece of tape and wrap it over the pipe and secure it to the balloon. Do this at both the top and the bottom of the number to secure it in place. Don't forget to hide away the nozzle of our number balloon. By tucking this on the back side, it'll give our finished balloon a professional look. So I'm just going to use a single glue dash, stick it to my balloon nozzle, remove the paper backing, and then just fold that nozzle onto the back side of my number balloon. Now we can cover up the rest of the arch frame using 3 more balloon clusters, making sure that first cluster is snugged right up against our balloon number so you can't see any of the pole. Now my arch is pressed up against a wall, so I'm not too worried about the pole being visible on the back side of my number balloon, but if your design will be viewed from the back as well as the front, you may want to consider putting balloons on the back side of that number. To give the arch a luxurious look, I'm going to flare out the balloons at the base so it gives it a nice wide skirt. So I'm going to take all my remaining balloon clusters and quads, tie an empty 260 balloon to each of those, and then take the tail of that 260 and wrap it around a balloon or 2 that's already attached to the arch frame. Keep adding clusters in this manner until you're happy with how wide the base is. It's helpful to take a couple steps back and look at the overall design to make sure the clusters that we're placing are nice and balanced. I've also inflated a couple extra 60-inch balloons and tied them to 260 tails to add into this base as well. Once you're happy with the overall shape of this arch, we can finally focus in on those fun details. I've created some mini clusters using 8 5-inch balloons inflated to 4 pumps each, tied them into quads, and then tied a 260 balloon between each of those. Then you can stretch that 260 between the quads behind a balloon or two that's already in the arch and nestle these little clusters all over the place. They make it really easy to hide any gaps there may be in the arch, add texture, color, and more interest to our overall design. Now, in addition to these little clusters, I'm also going to be adding in these 10-point silver stars. To make these stars, they actually arrive as individual tapers that we have to tie together. So they come with a self-sealing nozzle as well as these tails, which we'll use to create the star. So I'm just going to inflate these with a hand pump until they're nice and taut, and they'll still have some wrinkling on the side, but they should be firm. Take the tails of 2 of these tapers and tie them together in a double knot, leaving a 1-inch gap between the 2 tapers. Then take 2 of these pairs and overlap them so that all those knots are touching right in the center, and then twist them around each other, making the start of our star. Slip another pair in so all the knots touch in the center, and twist 1 balloon from that new pair around a balloon that's already in the star, and repeat this step until you've got 10 star points all shooting out from the middle. Then tuck in any of the tails and nozzles that may be poking out so you can't see them. Now I made 3 of these for my arch, and I'll be tying them in using an empty 260 balloon that I'm just going to wrap across the center of my star and tie in a knot. Then take the tail of that 260 and wrap it around some of the balloons in the arch to secure it in place. I want my first star to accent my number balloon, so I'm going to place it on the bottom right side of my number so it almost looks like the light glistening off of my number balloon. I'm then going to balance this out by placing the other 2 stars on the left-hand side of the arch so it looks nice and even. Now this arch is ready to be the focal point of a beautiful party or event. If you enjoyed this project, you should check out this video next. And until the next time I see you, stay creative, everybody!